Welcome, everybody. This is the Average Joe
Show.
The most likely of duos, the averagest of Joes, the brother-sister combo of a lifetime. Should we just get started with our drinks?
Yeah,
We went to Dutch Bros.
Whoa!
Did you know that?
I had no idea. I got a Golden Eagle. It's vanilla, caramel, with caramel drizzle on top.
Can you find mine?
It's pretty stinking good.
It smells stinking good.
Yeah. Yours is...
Mine was the Aftershock, I think.
Strawberry, blackberry, raspberry, and lime.
I can taste that. Raspberry, lime, and strawberry very well. Actually, never mind. I can taste it all really well.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all real good.
And then we also got a muffin top there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a muffin? But it's on top.
Dude, it was like a cookie, but it was made of cake. And it made me so happy.
We're talking about the new hit movie of the summer.
Morbius.
Not even Wakanda Forever.
Bro, I wish. Yeah, we're talking about the new Marvel movie, Wakanda Forever.
Ooh.
Woo woo.
Yeah.
I am so... I told you this yesterday, like after we came out of the movie, and I was like, oh, I'm so emotionally drained, and I still feel it today.
Yeah.
I haven't recovered.
I thought it was an okay movie. I'm just kidding. It was better than okay. It was good.
Yeah, this one's probably, I was going to say the best of this year, but I need to think about the other movies. I'm not going to include the shows, but just the movies. But yeah, so it was Multiverse of Madness, and then
Thor, Love and Thunder.
And then this one? Those are the only 3 this year?
Yeah?
That's wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one's the best. This one's the best one of this year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Of Phase 4, it's probably like number...
I would say...
I think it's like number 3. Of this phase, like...
I can't think of...
Isn't this phase everything after Far From Home?
I thought Far From Home was the last of Phase 3. And then
That's
whatever,
what I meant.
Yeah, whatever came after Far From Home is
Phase 4.
Start. Yeah. I would probably put this up there next to No Way Home.
Yeah, I think...
But I feel like
the top 3...
No Way Home is just, like, just really
nostalgia.
Good. Yeah. I feel like that's what makes it good.
Yeah.
Even though that's why I like it, because of how nostalgic it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like Wakanda Forever kind of just hit me, like, a little too personally. And I'm like, you know what? This is pretty good and kind of accurate, and it's hurting me, and I don't like it. I like this movie, but it's hurting me.
Yeah.
Let's do it like a little... Should we do a little spoiler, like non-spoiler, like review, I guess?
Yeah, let's do a little non-spoiler for you people who haven't seen it yet. First of all, go see it. It's a good time.
Yes, please.
Support your local movie theaters.
Yeah, I think this... I would say this movie has a lot of dark, like scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how great it would look on a TV screen.
Oh,
so just
fair.
So just watch it at the theater. Like, why not?
Yeah.
It also doesn't... It's not super connected to the whole Marvel thing. Like, you can jump from the first Black Panther to this one.
Yeah.
And it, like, basically explains everything.
I thought Namor was cool. Namor was really cool.
Dude, I love him so much.
I was
looking up Namor, and they did a lot of unique stuff with him. And I'm like, ooh, I really like... We can talk more about it later. I guess it's not really spoilery, because it's just design stuff.
Yeah, if it's design stuff, go for it.
But I'm like, oh, it's so good. But no, he was real good. Because he's just basically an Aquaman ripoff. But I think with Aquaman coming out, they're probably like, oh, we should probably make him more unique. So they did like an Aztec spin on him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking it up, and there's no mention of him being like
a Mesoamerican.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, dude. And I just love the design stuff with just Mesoamerican stuff anyways.
Yeah.
And
Aztec is cool.
Yeah. Also, he's real hot. I don't know who these people were, but I guess there were some nerds complaining on the internet being like, he's not ripped like Chris Hemsworth. I can't see a six-pack, so I'm just gonna call him fat and just hate him. And I'm like, no, he's perfect.
He's fine.
Look at my boy. He has wings on his ankles. He's perfect.
But the movie in general, some of the non-spoilery stuff, there's some dang good performances.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I've always liked, I need to...
Queen Ramonda?
Well, I was trying to, I want to get like I always forget to do like look up actors' names, and it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like the cast in this for the most part.
Even though it's the same, it's for the most part the same cast as the first one.
Yeah.
Also, bring tissues. This movie it throws you through the ringer, and literally first 5 minutes everyone was crying, and I was there with them. And there's a lot of parts that are super sad, so definitely bring tissues with you.
Yeah.
And don't wear like makeup at all you people who wear makeup.
Yeah, Amy was looking at me, and my makeup was just rushing down my face.
No, it was... The first 5 minutes, I almost had to walk out of the theater. It was bad. But yeah, what were you gonna say? Sorry.
But like, the cast is so good. Some of them could be better. But I think they just had to make up for the fact that, like, some people needed to shine more than other people because they shined in the last movie. Like, M'Baku, he was sort of nerfed in this movie, meaning that he was just not utilized as well as I wanted to. I thought he was good, but he wasn't as good as I didn't like him as much as I did in the original.
He's in Us, and he's a big dorky dad, and I love him.
Also, I don't know. I have it's a bittersweet thing, like, with context, like, of knowing what happened, with Chadwick Boseman, of him passing and whatnot. Shuri's character, like, she's fun. She's very fun in the first Black Panther movie.
Yeah.
But this one, sure, like, the point of the movie isn't supposed to be that she's this fun person. She's supposed to be grieving and whatnot. And it's just, like, I don't know. I like how she was for part of it, but I miss how she was in the original. But that would take away for, like, that adds more character development of what happened in the movie. So
yeah, well, it could also be like, oh, well, this major thing happened in your life, and like, just going through that, like, you wouldn't be the same person as before.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So like, and whenever you watch it, I feel like you would understand why it's like, oh yeah, she's not the same person.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like this movie was about grief. Like, it doesn't go super, like, it goes in depth, but nothing like, oh, we need to, like, heal from our grieving. Like, they do it lightly. I want to watch it again just to see, like with the stages of grief. And just, like, because I feel like a lot of the characters are, like, in different, like stages.
Different stages of it.
Yeah. So I'm like, ooh, I kind of want to see if they're all like representing like different stages.
Mm-hmm.
But then I can't remember. So I can't like be like, oh, well, this is how this person was in this stage and da-da-da.
Yeah.
But yeah, should we go into spoilers now? Or
Just a couple more comments.
Okay.
The action was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of the mechanic, I loved Namor's like action sequences. Like he has like the little flying wings on his feet,
Mm-hmm.
which look sort of stupid, but it grants him abilities to do some dope looking action scenes.
Mm-hmm. I think
Other things. Sorry.
I think this is also me just like looking up Namor stuff, but he's like the first mutant character in Marvel.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's gonna be like introducing that stuff, because that's why he has wings on his feet.
Well,
so I remember sitting there in the movie like, oh, and why does this man have? Why is this man?
Feet?
Why? Who is this Hermes wannabe?
Yeah.
But then I looked it up and I was like, oh, okay, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
He's so cool, and I can't get over the costume design for just like all of them. Like there's like one of the soldiers with like, and she wears like a headdress that's like of, I think it's an angelfish or a lionfish.
Is it the blue one?
Yeah, all the like those.
The upgraded suits. The
No. The is it Talocanians? I know that's the name of the place is Talocan, but I don't know what the people are
the
called.
not Atlanteans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, because it's a guy and girl. The guy wears like, he wears like a hammerhead skull for
Which
like
I
a
thought
helmet.
that was sick.
That was so cool. I loved him, and I loved all of those characters.
Like,
all the
basically
Atlanteans are cool.
The enforcers of Talocan.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the girl, she wears like it was like the striped look, and she had like the headdress.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I loved her. It just all looked so good. I wish they did more of that with all the other like soldiers, and like just like giving them like clothing that has like fish stuff on it. But it still looked cool with what we got. Do you have any other thoughts before we go into spoilers?
Let's just get into spoilers, because it's been like already 20 minutes.
Yeah. Y'all just go watch it. We're going to spoil everything.
Yep.
And
the time is now to skip out and leave this episode to go watch it. Come back, listen.
We're not going to erase this like 3 hours after we post it. She's going to be up forever, hopefully. So don't worry about missing out on anything. You can come back. It's fine.
Okay.
We're patient.
Spoiler review in 3, 2, 1. I can't believe Morbius actually came out, and then he got obliterated by the sun. He's like, wait a minute, MCU sun actually hurts vampires? Ah! And then blows up.
I was thinking Namor grabbed him and launched him into Icarus came in and was like, hey buddy, let's go. And Morbius is like, where? And he's like, we just gotta go. They blasted like a rocket.
Yeah.
Man, this spoiler section's real weird.
Yeah. How do we want to do this? Do we just want to sort of just go through? I was gonna just pull up like.
Oh yeah, like the synopsis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's just start with the beginning. I thought it was really cool that they did like the little, they did the little like tribute like Marvel like logo
the Marvel
thing.
Logo with just him. Oh. That hurt. Was that before or after the cold open? No, it had to be after.
It was after.
Yeah, because like that cold open had like no music, so it was all emotion, and that really sucked. Oh, that was terrible.
It's interesting that like the way that like the cold open happened. Like you just see Shuri just walk in and
They're in her laboratory, like
yeah,
like trying to, like they're doing.
they're running a test. It doesn't really specify, and then all of a sudden it says pull the DNA. Does this work? No. And then you're like, oh no, this is Chadwick going.
Yeah.
And I have very mixed things about this. Like I've listened to reviews already about this movie.
I haven't listened to anything, so
And
you can keep going. Sorry.
one person that I was listening to, this is Nando V Movies. Shout out to you.
Oh, he already is it his podcast or?
He has another channel called Nando, the Nando Cut, I think. Guys, go listen to the Nando Cut and Nando V Movies and mostly nitpicking.
Yeah.
Because he's my favorite. He was talking about how if you go into this movie without any context, it's going to be the weirdest thing ever. Like, it's going to be a weird thing that people are like, why did they do this? And, like killing off, like, they're like, oh, they killed off the main actor of the movie previous, just off screen, which you can't, like, there's nothing you can really do, but the problem is, Nando made a comment about this, he's like, what if 10 years from now, kids are watching this who have never seen this before, they watch the Black Panther movie, and then they go to Wakanda Forever, and they're like, wait a minute.
Well, they can look it up, or if they're young, they can be like, Mom or Dad or parent, why isn't Black Panther in this movie? And they could be like, oh, well, the guy who was Black Panther died before they made this movie.
I just think it's sort of weird. Like,
it's just weird all around because it's like, you shouldn't replace him. I wouldn't want them to replace him. Unless they're doing like a whole new continuity, like with the Fox's X-Men, and then doing like Marvel's just like with Quicksilver. Like if it's a whole new continuity, then you can do different actor. Yeah. But since this actor was, I don't know, and I think also because he died, that it's like, it's not a situation where like, oh, well, they changed Rhodey's character, like they changed his actor. When it's like, no, this is a different situation because this guy died, and I'm sure he loved the character, so it's like, we can't just like take that away from him. Yeah. Even though it's just being like stuck up against a rock in a hard place. So it's like, you gotta do. It was probably hard to like decide what to do because it's not like they're gonna just drop the character.
Well, something that was interesting, I thought I remember hearing that before Chadwick died, but he talked about his cancer. I guess like somebody was saying like Chadwick, I can't remember who told me this. I heard it literally today. I can't remember if it was a podcast or a coworker. But
coworker, if you're listening to this podcast, leave a comment.
Before he died, he was like, hey, after I'm gone, replace me. I want somebody to take my spot. And I think whoever was talking about this said oh, I think it'll be more like honorable, I don't know, honorable, or like more tribute to this actor just to do like to not replace you, just to cut you out. I don't know, like sort of do what they did with him. Which I
I think
think
it's also hard because he didn't do any kind of filming for this movie, so they couldn't.
because they wrote the movie, he died, and then
Yeah.
they're like, oh well, now we got to change up the whole movie, which
Yeah.
is so impressive on the like directors and the writers because
Just everyone.
it was literally like
It was
Chadwick. He died what 2 years ago?
Yeah, he died in 2020.
Yeah,
I think. Was it?
it was end of 2020.
I thought it was at the beginning of the year.
I
Or the
don't
middle.
know. I don't
can't
know.
remember. Sometime in 2020. They did the best that they can.
Oh, they
though.
did. They did
They
so
did real
good
good.
for 2 years of filming and writing.
Uh-huh.
It's impressive
I
because
do-
there's some movies. Avatar, for example. How long has that been in development? Over 10 years, and
Probably almost 20. It was like 15 years.
no, I think it was like 2010. Oh, that was 12 years ago.
I'm happy they didn't try to like get someone to like stand in as him and then they like do a CG face on him.
Oh, I
Like
think
that-
that would have been the worst case scenario.
Yeah, that would have been terrible. Like the least that I wish they could have done was with a. Sorry, I'm gonna skip to like the very end of the movie, but like because she goes to like the
Not astral plane, ancestral plane.
yeah when she goes to ancestral plane, she talks with Killmonger, and I kind of wish that they did another one where she actually talks with her like mom, and like.
Well, they sort of did,
It would
but-
be cool if they would have done like if they showed like the back of Chadwick, and like they don't show him at all. He doesn't talk. He's kind of just like sitting there like waiting for like Shuri to like come and talk to him, and it's just her being like, "No, I'm not ready for this right now," or just something like that. Like that could have been interesting or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it could also play into the fact that she's like, I like how they did she's more of a science mind, so why would, like, the traditional stuff work? Like, with her and her mom doing the ritual where they burn their funeral clothes to, like, show that they're, like they accept the death and how they're gonna move on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they could have had it where like she could have seen like her family from afar, and it's just like, no, I'm not ready to like do that, and then just like chat with Killmonger or something. I don't know.
I did not like the chat with Killmonger, but we can.
It was just such a flip. Like
I
I like it, but then it's also like this doesn't feel like Shuri.
yeah.
And I wish they did more of like her mom saying like, oh, I should like, oh, this isn't who you are, show who you really are, and it's like just like a split-second cut where it's like you could have had it so she's like knocked out. Very loud car. Whoa. But just have it like when they crash the plane, she like gets kind of knocked out, then has a nice chat with her mom, and like have her actually talk to her more and give her a better pep talk than Killmonger, the last person you want a pep talk from.
Yeah.
I feel like right now I can't make a lot of fixing critiques with it
Yeah.
because we literally watched it like
Last night.
yeah,
It hasn't even been 24 hours since we got out of the movie.
yeah. So I would definitely need to watch it again
Yeah.
to like get like, oh, this part needs fixing, we can probably tweak this one and do all that.
Yeah.
Like I can't do that right now.
Yeah, let's just move on with the movie though.
Yeah.
So I thought the beginning was weird. It was you couldn't really do too much with it Shuri trying to make the artificial like Black Panther herb.
Yeah, the heart-shaped herb.
I hate it when people emphasize the H sound. It's an herb. It's not herb. It's not a person.
That's just... English is weird, y'all.
No, it's pronounced herb. It's herb and spices at Subway. It's not herb and spices.
Well, I also totally forgot that Killmonger burnt all of them.
Yeah.
Except the one that they gave to T'Challa.
Yeah, the one that they
the
were
one and only one.
one.
So yeah, I totally forgot about that. So it kind of makes sense where she couldn't get the full thing out of his bloodstream. Because that's what I'm guessing, was that she was trying to take the essence of the heart-shaped herb out of his blood to or out of his DNA to make a new one.
Mm-hmm.
But then there just wasn't enough. So then it can also be chalked up to he didn't have enough of it. Or I don't know. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
With that. It makes a good amount of sense of what they're doing and what was happening.
Well, because it's supposed to grant them strength and whatnot.
Yeah. But anyways,
yeah.
I wonder when this takes place, because then it's a year later that this movie takes place.
A year after his passing, after
Yeah.
T'Challa's passing.
Yeah.
But
because it's obviously after Endgame. He got dusted.
No, he died, came back for Infinity War, then got dusted, then came back for Endgame, and then he's now just chilling. He actually never died. He just
They're gonna CGI him in the next movie, and it's gonna look awful.
Yeah.
No, they're just not gonna take off his mask.
Yeah. They're just gonna be like, "Hey everybody. I'm Black Panther. I'm not Bane. But
I love it because I sit here and I'm like, it's not Tom Hardy Bane. It's Bane from Harley Quinn's show.
I'm gonna blow up this chair. Why can't I get the comfortable chair?
So good.
This small chair isn't good for my big body. Okay.
Okoye is so good. I love her. She's just so good. She's my favorite character. She's so stinking good. She's a sass machine, and I love her.
She's somebody that I would love to see in a conversation in another group, just chewing somebody out, but I can't be in that group. I'd feel like I'm like the friend that's over at somebody's house, and she's chewing out her son, who's my friend. I'm like, I can't. And you're awkwardly looking away. She would be the mom that chews you out in front of your friends.
I love I love all the outfits that she wears.
Mm-hmm.
I just love the style. I love all the costume design. It's so good. They choose everything so well. But her in the suit, the what's it called? The jacket, because it's not a full suit, because she's wearing a jumpsuit and then a coat.
Mm-hmm.
What is the coat called?
Blazer.
Yeah, blazer. And I love how she gets roasted, but it's in the same way where it's because it's Shuri being well, you can't go into the college, and she's like, why not? Look at me, I'm the coolest person here. And it's yeah, but you don't look like a college student.
She's like, wait, is my makeup off? And she's like, no, your makeup looks good. Yeah. Here, let's just, I think a cool scene, so we have first there's the
this is gonna be a very just a kind of everywhere spoiler section.
Let's actually just take our time. Not take our time. Let's go through the movie, not hop around. So basically, after Chadwick dies, they show this scene of of the UN, and
they're just like chewing. They're chewing out. Is it Ramonda? Yeah, Ramonda. Queen Ramonda. They're like chewing her out, and just being like, "Why are you hiding vibranium from us? Like, why don't you share it?" And she's kind of just getting mad at them, being like, you guys are just coming after me because we don't have a Black Panther anymore, and my son's dead. Like I just came back as queen again, and you guys are just coming after me like you're coming after us like vultures. Yeah. All because we don't have like someone to protect us.
But like the thing is that they like T'Challa, when he was king, he said, "Oh, we'll provide these. We want to help the world, and we want to provide our resources." And then he passed away, and the world never got to see vibranium being used. And by the sounds of it, Queen Ramonda does not have the same trust with the people as T'Challa did.
But yeah, so she's mostly just wanting to protect it, because it's like, we've had it for this long, we've been like very peaceful, so like, why are we gonna give it to the rest of you guys when you guys just want to use it for weaponry?
No, Amy.
Like bad stuff.
The U.S. wants to use it for resources.
The U.S. just wants to make Wolverine.
No.
Just kidding, that's Canada. When Canada just wants to make a Wolverine.
They used adamantium, but that's a different story. But it doesn't matter. But the U.S., they're fun people. They're like, so you're going to provide the resources or what? And then the French are the enemy of this movie. All of our French listeners, you're the enemy.
all like what, 2 of you? None of you that watch us?
Yeah, as of right now, I don't think we have any French listeners. All you want is to turn vibranium into a weapon of mass destruction. And you know what you'll do? You'll send your troops in, and you'll try to kill all the women, but you'll get taken down by cool technology made out of the vibranium.
Anyways.
Which that was a really cool sequence. I was like, bro, this is a cool sequence of having, like, it was cutting between, people are trying to break in, and it's like sort of, I think there's the dialogue of Queen Ramonda being like, yo, I don't know if we can trust these resources outside of Wakanda, because Wakanda has kept it safe and and have used it for only, like, we've used it for good and for protection, not for assault. Yeah. It's for defense, not offense.
Yeah.
But as they're going through this monologue, there's these people breaking into this lab in like an outpost that like Wakanda has that's not in Wakanda.
Yeah, it's just like an outpost, probably for them to, I don't know.
I think it's something that they were going to use for like distributing the vibranium if they ended up distributing it to the world. Yeah. But basically, it's a little science area, and then like these guys come in, and they're like going to take over, and then all of a sudden, bald women come out and just start wrecking, and they don't kill them because for some reason their spears have tasers on them, and that shows that they're the good. They've never had tasers on those spears.
Yeah, they probably upgraded it so like the blunt side of it has like more of a taser on it, but it always had like electrocution stuff on it.
I just think it's funny that these warriors are being nerfed down. These are supposed to be like the strongest people, and it's Marvel.
It's also French people trying to come in, and she's like showing them like, hey, are these idiots yours? 'Cause I know that they're yours, and you sent them to get our stuff. So if you're getting mad at us for doing stuff, then get mad at them because they're doing the same thing.
I just think it's funny that like these weapons that like the Dora Milaje.
Wait, Dora Milaje.
Oh, Dora Milaje. That's
Yeah.
What, yeah.
Yeah. I think I wouldn't say that they were nerfed for this part, but it's
I
like
just think it's funny that they have spears and then they like slash through people, but they don't kill them because this is supposed to be like a family-friendly movie, and so
But then
instead
cut
they
to-
have like tasers and whatnot. But yeah,
Well, I'm sure that they've killed every other time. They probably just needed to just stun these guys, just to
I think
prove a point.
it's just silly. It looks silly. I just
I
think
don't
it's
care.
funny that like there's this automatic like no kill rule thing with.
Well, it's just a warning. It's a warning for them, just to be like, hey, France, don't send your people into my country to steal our stuff. And this is just a slap on the wrist, and try it again, and worse stuff will happen.
Yeah.
Try me, I dare you.
Yeah. But I love Queen Ramonda in this scene.
Mhm.
She's just so good.
With her cussing out everyone, was that a one take?
Oh, I have no idea. Probably not. Some of the tech in there was cool. Like the shield looks so sick.
Yeah.
But let's keep on.
Let's keep going.
Because it's a 2 hour. It's over 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours and 40 minutes. I
Yeah,
believe.
it's a long movie.
So yeah, the whole thing is like, the whole world is on edge on like Wakanda because they've basically just kind of shown like, hey guys, look, we have all this weaponry, and then all of a sudden out in the Atlantic, they get attacked.
Well, it's because like they put out this threat being like, hey, if you try to take vibranium from us, we will
Wage war.
Yeah, not wage war. We'll defend ourselves.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to these people, like the CIA. Come to find out, it's the CIA is like digging around looking for vibranium, and they found some, but it's also connected to the I'm gonna call them the Atlanteans or the Talokan, because in the comics they're the Atlanteans.
I totally understand why they didn't just make it Atlantis because of Aquaman coming out. And, like, it's not like Marvel being scared, like, oh, we're gonna get sued if we used Atlantis. Because it's like Atlantis is like Loch Ness or Bigfoot. Like, she has no copyright claim on her. You can do whatever you want with them. But I like the unique thing that they did with it. Like, I don't know. It's, like, different enough, if that makes sense. Anyways,
But some things that they like. Next thing you see, I think you see.
Wait, first of all, the CIA, while they're in the middle of the ocean, did they take it or
Take what?
the vibranium detector?
Yeah, they took the vibranium detector. Yeah, they went
from
out
the
and,
school.
No, so basically the CIA had this one girl make this machine and took it from MIT.
But she made it at school for a project.
She made it for a project, and the CIA found out, and they're like, can we
buy that off of you? But also, not really. I don't know. It also didn't look like that they bought it off of her either.
Well, because you don't see a transaction happen. That's the only reason why you think it's that.
Well,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Just call it. Actually, she could have just bought her student loans with all the money that they gave her. Or they're like, hey kid, we'll do your student loans for you. She's like, oh dude, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be in debt for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Yeah. So basically what happens, they take this machine that can like track, it's a metal detector, but instead of metal, it's vibranium. They found vibranium in the Atlantic Ocean, and they're like, oh, let's start mining it. And then all of a sudden they were expecting problems from it, trying to mine it.
Dude, the people going down into the ocean was
Okay.
the most uncomfortable feeling ever. Like, just watching them, like, sink down into the abyss. Obviously, the vibranium detector, since they're in the middle of the Atlantic, is going to be at the bottom of the ocean. So, they send these 2 people down to go, like, look at the vibranium. Or, like, to, like, actually check if it did find vibranium. So, they're in these big, chunky suits. And, like, basically, like, their whole lives are, like, just like these wires that attach like from the suits all the way up to the ship, and they just like toss them overboard like an anchor, so they're just sinking down into the water until like they hit the bottom and find the thing.
Find the vibranium.
Yeah, but it's just so scary because it's just nothing, and it's so scary.
Like it's just pitch black, and all you see, it's
all-
just the machine.
It's just nothing.
And
it's so scary.
I can see why people are afraid of the ocean, because it's just, we know nothing about the ocean.
Yeah,
and this is an example why there's Atlanteans out there. There are people in the water.
Whoa!
So basically, when they're mining down, like when they're checking out this machine, from the bottom, one of the people get taken out, and then it cuts the signal out of that person, and head CIA woman is like, "Are you okay? Go check it out. Tell me what you're seeing." Instead of being like, "Let's pull you out of there."
Dude.
and
and
then all of a sudden they were taken out. Like that person was taken out.
I don't know why, but it made me want to throw up when like it showed her like turning over to where the other guy was, and just seeing the wire and it all cut, and there's just nothing.
Yeah.
Like it's just the wire cut, and it's just like he's gone. Like where could he have gone? Into the abyss.
Well, I think what happens to these people, because also what happens on towards the surface of like the surface of the wire, where like the helicopter pad is, they're like singing for some reason.
No,
and the singing is like, or like the echo looking, whatever the
it's singing.
Yeah, so like whatever they're doing is like hypnotizing everybody who can hear it, and then they just drop into the water.
They just kill themselves.
I don't think they kill themselves, because they made a comment how they just have a crazy army of like a ton of people, and they keep on adding to it. And I think what this is doing, they're
adding them.
They're adding these new people to the Talokan and whatnot. I think Marvel wouldn't stoop down that low to make people like, we're gonna have people just drop in the water and kill themselves, because that's dark to think about. But
I loved it, like with the hypnotic singing, because that's like it's a total like sailor's tale where like mermaids and like what is it called, sirens, what they would do, they would sing to like lure sailors to them, so then they could just drown them and eat them or kill them or something.
I thought that was freaky.
It was freaky. Like it's scary, but
I think that's more scary than the dark abyss of the ocean.
I really liked because like the CIA lady, which isn't Val. It's not her. It's like someone else.
It's a random person.
Like that works.
It's a random CIA agent who's like over the operation.
Yeah, and then like I'm guessing like the general of the operation, they like plug up their ears, and they go out there to see what the heck is happening, and just the part where like he grabs the guy and like shoots the gun, and just like all the heads going down into the water again.
Yeah.
That was freak. Like it was like scary, but then I'm like, oh, that's, I don't know. It was just cool.
Yeah.
Like it's a really good introduction of the Atlanteans. Like I really liked how this is how we're introduced to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Well, it's like very imposing and mysterious.
yeah, and then America, or I guess the CIA thinks that Wakanda did it,
Because it was like right after
all of
this,
that, and they found
after
vibranium.
It was after the threat, and then it was after the threat that the Wakandans made, and yeah.
Yeah, and like no one was there to say like, oh yeah, it was Wakanda that got it, or it was like blue people. What the heck? I love later on. There's like they get attacked. Like just the part where the cops like, whoa, is that chick blue? Dies. Last thing he says is, whoa, is that person blue? It was such a good line.
Yeah.
Ugh, I probably shouldn't have gotten a coffee because my brain is going a million miles a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, okay, also, because, so they start flying off in the helicopter, and it's the CIA lady trying to be like, we need reinforcements, we're getting attacked, please. And the helicopter gets attacked, and like at first you don't see what the heck is happening, because it's all in shadow from outside, because you just see like something's grabbing onto like the tail of it and just like spinning them. But then it shows a guy that's like silhouetted in like the moonlight, and he's like flying in the air. I remember sitting there like, whose man's is this? Because I didn't know that Namor had wings on him.
Yeah.
Because he has it in the comics too. I just didn't know that about him.
I'm trying to think of what else happens.
After that, is that when it shows Ross?
No, Ross is later. Ross is...
I think there's like one scene at Wakanda, and then it goes to Ross.
Yeah, because it goes to Wakanda. No, so this is where. Is this before or out?
No, this is when.
This is when they have the funeral.
No, this is when. No, funeral was like before the. It was like
before
it was like
the United Nations meeting. Which hold up. That is like probably one of the prettiest sequences. Dude. Seeing like everybody in the white clothes and the dancing, which at first I'm like, they look like they're just dancing like joyously, and it's like weird. But like it makes me think of like
they're celebrating his life.
Yeah. Like it reminds me of like I interacted with a lot of Polynesian cultures when I was serving my mission in Canada. I had a few of my missionary companions from like New Zealand, and one was Tongan and whatnot. But basically, like we at some point we learned like the haka as like a mission, which is like a war dance, or some of them are war dances, some of them are like one of the most intimidating looking hakas is actually like one that you do at weddings and like you do at weddings and like funerals. What is it called? I think it's called Tika Tonu. But it's, I don't know, it's like very intimidating. You see like people looking super stern and like mean, and like their tongue sticking out and whatever, and they're like super like stiff and whatever, like beating their chest and slapping their legs, and it just like looks crazy. But when you know what like the words are saying, it's just like it's like
pretty.
Oh yeah, like this Tika Tonu song is basically like is his father talking to his son, talking about growing up and whatnot. Like you're entering this new stage of life, you're gonna have hardship and you're gonna have all this, and I won't be there always, but know that you can grow from every from every experience you have, and like it's a really cool like story that is told through this, but it looks very intimidating. But like I guess the point of me saying that is sort of like in this funeral or this celebration of life, these people are dancing, and it just looks different, but like it's a way to like show respect to somebody who has passed away.
And I think coming from like, I know this isn't all America, but like the traditional American funeral is just like everyone wears black and everyone's sad, and it's just like, oh,
people
they're gone.
fill up on funeral potatoes and
yeah. I just love seeing other cultures like how they do stuff. Like
I don't even know if this is actual like African culture, but
it could be like a mix of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Something that distracted me during that funeral was seeing how light this vibranium coffin was. Like, they lifted it up like there was nothing in there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that was like cardboard. And
I did notice that too, but then I was also like, oh, these women are strong. It's probably fine. They can do it. I believe them.
This is like the heaviest.
I think it's just the strongest one. I don't think it's like the heaviest one. Heavy does not equal strong.
Yeah, that's fair. But to continue on, I think...
Yeah, because then... are you going to continue on with the funeral?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought, like, this was the part... Like, after this scene, honestly, they shouldn't have... Like, this was, like, the tribute scene to Chadwick Boseman, which is really cool, really neat, and it was great. I think they shouldn't have... Like, they did another little mini tribute thing at the end of the movie, which we'll get to later.
End credit scene?
Yeah, the end credit scene.
I
wasn't the biggest fan of it, but I think they should have just stuck with, this is the tribute, this is us moving on to it. And it's hard to do that, but you sort of have to. What else can you do? You've embraced it, you've
It's kind of like the acceptance of his death, I guess.
Well, that's what mainly the funeral is.
Well,
is the acceptance and the...
Wait, are you talking about the end credit scene?
No,
Wait.
I'm not talking about the I'm just talking about the funeral.
Yeah,
I think they should have cut out... Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't need to be in there.
Yeah, I have my things, but we can talk about it later. Right now, it's
to
too early to talk about it.
Yeah.
After the boat attack, that's when Ramonda and Shuri go like into like the bush, and they're gonna burn their funeral clothes just to like, it's a ritual where it like signifies like, all right, I'm not like I'm over like this death. It's like
I'm moving on.
Yeah. It's like accepting death and knowing that it happened, and I'm gonna start a new phase.
Which is a really neat like culture traditional thing.
Yeah,
the
I
idea
really
is
like
great.
it.
I've never seen that before, but it makes total sense. Like taking something that will remind you of this person's death and burning it.
Yeah.
After that,
well, they try to do it, and then I can't remember if Ramonda burned her clothes, because I know the whole time she's trying to get Shuri to do it, and Shuri's like,
she did it, and then they have like the conversation talking about...
No, because Shuri doesn't burn
No,
her
yeah,
clothes.
Shuri doesn't.
Yeah, because she's like, this is dumb. How is this gonna fix my problems? Like, this isn't gonna make my feelings of what happened to my brother and my dad, like, that's not gonna like just burning. To her, it's like, me burning these clothes isn't gonna fix how I feel and my grief. Like, this isn't gonna help. Like, I really like her thing of just like, oh yeah, all the traditional stuff isn't like, how is that gonna help me? I need to like use science to
yeah,
fix
which is
it.
an interesting thing, because nowadays, like, there's a ton of people who aren't really like spiritual anymore. They don't look for traditions, they look for factual things. They're like, how, which is very, very like a fair point. Like, of people, like, I don't know.
I feel like it shouldn't be like a black and white thing where it's like you can only be religious or you're only scientific, or like not like only spiritual and not only science. Like, I feel like there should be. I don't know. To me, I'm just like I see both things.
Yeah, but
So it's
but
like-
in the movie, they're showing like both sides. Like the queen is like
the traditional.
is very traditional, very religiously and spiritually
Whenever
motivated by things, while
Shuri,
while
is like,
Shuri is like I'm using my brain,
I'm a
technology.
I'm a lady of science.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I like it because
Yeah,
I feel like that happens with death though. People like question what happens like when they come to think about it. Like where did my like in this situation, where did my brother go? Because he's not with me anymore, and he like
it makes me think of the whole like Big Hero 6 thing where it's like my brother isn't here, he's dead, and everyone just being like, no, he's still here with you, he's in your heart, like you have his memories.
Well, like,
but that's also just a total different situation, but just like the similarities of like everyone keeps telling me that my brother's here when he's not, he's dead, and it's just terrible for people to keep saying that he's here when he's not.
Yeah.
That's like Shuri's whole thought process of it.
Well, like it's hard because like her being like a person of science and of technology, she could have the like she's never seen the ancestral plane ever.
Yeah.
So she doesn't have any knowledge of like, oh, there truly is like an afterlife, and
or this is where my family is right now.
Yeah, which is really cool when she does at the end of the movie, is able to go to the ancestral plane, and
even though it's kind of like, it is a real thing, but it's not what I pictured. It's not how my brother or my dad explained it. This is like completely different.
This is like worst case scenario. But so
we'll get more into that later.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just interesting. But while they're doing all this, out of nowhere, in comes Namor out of the water. And
I hate the shot where it's like, because it's just way too dark. Because it's nighttime and it like pans across the water, and you can't see anything other than the moon being reflected off the water. And it's like, okay, you could have at least brightened it up so then we can see that it's water and not just a black screen with like white lines just going up and down real fast.
Amy,
that was just more annoying because it's like,
I think it's cool that you can barely see the water. It's a like because it shows just like how scary like how imposing and fearful you should be of the villain of this movie.
I just think it went on like if they cut it off sooner, because I feel like they went like whoosh, boom, he's there, when it could have just been like whoosh, there he is. Like if they cut down that shot, then I would have been fine with it. But
okay,
it's like,
that explains it better than the. I wish it was like whoosh instead of it being like whoosh. It sounded like the exact same thing.
No,
and your hand motions does not help the listeners.
No, the first whoosh was like way too long. The second one was just right.
Oh my gosh. When they meet Namor, it's just like, my land has been found. You make sure that that nobody finds out where we're at, or else I will come straight to you guys and I will destroy your nation. You guys may seem like you're the strongest nation, but you know nothing about us. We're even more strong.
Well, I like it because both Wakanda and Talukan. Yeah. Both Wakanda and Talukan are like very similar. So like, it totally makes sense why they would make an alliance together. But also,
yeah, because that's what they were trying to do in the long run is the Talokan and Wakanda to make an alliance. One being like, oh, Wakanda is like, oh, we'll protect each other, and then Talokan being like, we're gonna destroy the world.
Which is like, it's funny because like he has like kind of the same kind of like, I'm like forgetting the word and it's really bugging me, so I'm like, my brain is just like flipping through my dictionary of words that I know. But what is it? Like the thing that he wants to do. There's like a specific
Motivation.
word. Yeah. Like, so Namor's motivation is very similar to Ocean Master's. Even though it's like completely different, but it's like
from Aquaman?
In the long run, I think just every ocean villain is gonna have the same motivation where it's like, man, these land dwellers really suck and they're just annoying me and I don't want to be found. But like with Namor, it's like, I like how his motivations came to be, and I just like the idea of how all the Atlanteans came to be in this movie.
Yeah. Well,
compared to like Aquaman, where it's like, we've been here this whole time, but you're just polluting, like all these land dwellers are polluting the water, so we're gonna kick their butts.
When Namor shows up, he's like, I want you guys to find the scientist that built this machine. And they're like, what machine? They're like, the thing that found the vibranium in the water. And they're like, well, what machine? And then he leaves and they turn around. They're like, it's right there.
It was behind us the whole time.
Yeah. And for some reason
how did he do that so fast?
Somehow they're like, oh, logically, this has to do with the Americans. We're going to go to a CIA agent or we're going to go to the one CIA agent that we conveniently know from the last movie, and we'll talk to him. And he's jogging to, what song is it?
I don't know.
I want to say it's Pumped Up Kicks, but it's totally
no,
not.
It's not Pumped Up Kicks. No,
it's some edgy music.
That's pretty good. I just love how because it does like an overhead shot of like the woods that he's jogging in, and it has like the music playing, and then it like cuts to him, and it's just like playing on his headphones. Like it's not just like this song's like, it's just funny being like, oh yeah, this song is just part of the soundtrack, and then it just goes to him listening to it, and it's like, oh cool, so I guess that's your music taste.
Yeah.
But no, it makes sense why they would talk to him, because he was kind of like their footstep out the door to like I feel like he's like the most trusted person compared to everyone else. Well, and I think they were just asking him if he knew anything. Like,
well, he's CIA, so they're like, you have to know, or you can find somebody that knows.
Yeah, so I feel like it's not like, oh well, the Americans probably did it. I think it's more like, oh well, we know this guy where they know a lot of stuff, so we can like just go down the list of countries who may have made it, and this guy's just he's the only friendly one that we have, so may as well ask him. We
already threatened France, so it can't be France.
we can't talk to them we can't talk to them right now. We can just ask America right now.
Well, so an important thing to know is that the Queen Ramonda was like,
I thought you were talking about the Queen.
Yeah, the important thing, the Queen of England, she wanted nothing to do with this. But
she was 6 feet under. She wouldn't have cared.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So yeah, before they show Ross, Queen Ramonda's like, we need to talk to someone, and Okoye's like, oh, let me take Shuri out so then she's not being depressed in her lab.
Well, no, it was just going to be Okoye, and then, what's her name's like, Shuri was like, yo, I'll go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Shuri was like, oh, I'll go talk to him. Or I think Okoye's like, I'll go talk to him. Shuri makes some comment like, go talk to him.
No, because Okoye was like, no, let's take Shuri out because she's just been locked up in her lab and I think this would be good for her to just
to escape.
Yeah, and Ramonda's like, no, I don't think she's ready. And then Shuri's like, yeah, I am. So then they go. I think when Shuri roasts her, it's when...
Oh, when they get there.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Okoye is too much of an enforcer to... Like, she's too blunt, being like, yeah, we can either have you come to Wakanda conscious or unconscious. And I'm like, me too.
I'm like, unconscious, please. But, what's it called? So they get there, they meet up with Ross. Ross is like, MIT, KEY, MOUSE. And they're like, Mitty Mouse?
Dude, that's my favorite off-brand Disney thing.
And,
other than
and
Rodney
so they go.
Roden.
I would. So they go to MIT. They're told about this girl, and they're like, college student is the culprit. And
I love how the mom is like on a call with them, and she's like, "Oh, please tell me she's one of the teachers." And they're like, "Nope, she's some 19-year-old kid."
Mm-hmm. And so
I like Riri. Like,
oh, she's probably one of my favorite characters, and she basically fills in the spot for the comic relief that Shuri was in the last movie.
Yeah, she has a lot. Like, obviously, she's gonna be a lot more lighthearted than the rest of the cast, where they're all real depressed.
Yeah,
everyone's too depressed to make any kind of jokes. Other than M'Baku. But anyways, yeah, MIT.
And they introduced Riri, the second best character of the whole movie, next to Namor. But
she's the second best new character that they introduced. Namor's number one, baby.
But Riri is I don't know, she's just fun, and and she, like, it's interesting because her whole thing is that she's this science person, and later on you see that she's built like
You're gonna say she's built
she's
built different, but not in the same way as M'Baku. She's just real smart and handy.
But basically she's just the young version of Iron Man, and she's like, when Shuri comes up, she's like, you want me to join? I'll join the team.
Please.
And they're like,
please,
no,
I'm begging you.
we're actually here to take you.
We're actually here to arrest you.
And then she's like, can I go to the bathroom? Opens up the door, and she's like, wait!
Dude, that was so good. Because Okoye is like, okay, like, because she was just going to go in and be like, all right, come on, Riri, we're going to Wakanda, like it or not.
Yeah.
But then Shuri's like, no, we can just talk this out. Let me go talk to her.
She's like, I'll give you 5 minutes.
Yeah. I love Okoye so much.
And then she gave her 6 minutes because she was lazy.
No, because she's trying to be nice.
No, she was being lazy. She's like, I'll go later.
I need time to get into the bathroom to spook her.
I need to go to the bathroom first. I gotta take a poop.
No.
So basically what happens is
and,
they go to the man cave that she's like, I need to grab a few things before we go. And then they go to her secret little garage hideout where it has all of her stuff. And then the FBI are like, FBI, open up! And they're like, the FBI came? Why didn't you check that? And they're like, plot reasons? And so they have to get out of there. And for some reason, they're like, we need to split up. No, we need to stick together. No, we need to split up. And that became like a big problem.
Okoye was like, no, it's only me and you here. I don't have my squad with me. And I am not going to lose you, so you're sticking with me. And Shuri's just like, no, I want to do this on my own. I'm a big kid.
Yeah. And
I'm surprised that they let Riri go on her own, but also...
Well, the plan was for all three of them to go together.
Oh.
And all of a sudden, she flies out in her Iron Man suit, and then they're like, oh, we're splitting up, I guess. And then they split up, and so they're going through the town escaping. For some reason, there's a drone on them, so they have to destroy the drone. And a cool sequence that was sort of like thrown away after that, like a cool throwaway scene, was like her flying up, losing oxygen, sort of, and then shooting out the drone.
Mm-hmm.
Which, were you gonna say, like, it reminds you of Iron Man?
Yeah, when his suit freezes up and then it just stops, and then he's like, ooh, I'm gonna use that on Obadiah's suit because he's a big dumb idiot.
I thought that's what they were gonna do with Namor at the end for part of a tactic, but they didn't.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Instead of lighting him up on fire, they could have just froze him.
Yeah. All of a sudden, out of the air, they're flying away like, woohoo, let's get out of here, let's go to the rendezvous point. And then whoosh, grabs onto what's her name and gets slammed to the ground. I thought she was dead. And it's the Atlanteans.
Yeah, because they're going
Telecon,
over. They're going over a bridge.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden they're at this rendezvous point, and I can't remember what happened, but Shuri's like taken out. Wait, they pull the. I think what happens is that something happens that I can't remember. I know that Riri gets pulled down and is out, and then like Shuri gets hit.
Well, like, because Okoye's, like, the car flips.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't remember if Shuri, like if she also, like, got hit by... I don't think she got hit by the car. Or unless from Riri slamming down, she, like, tripped over her or something.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't believe they just glossed over the fact that this 19-year-old just committed murder on, like, authority figures. They're like, oh, these FBI cars are in the way. Kaboom! Just Riri blows up this entire, like, squadron of cars. I'm like, I'm pretty sure people were in that.
No, they're fine. There's no one in there.
But, so Riri's now not just a threat to the Atlanteans and the Wakandans at this point, but she just murders the FBI for some reason. And then
I think it's just the superhero thing where it's like property damage. What's that?
Yeah, but there's like the three enforcers of Namor show up, and they're like,
no, it's just
you kill the others. I'll take on this person. Yeah, no, there's three people. One took out the
No, so it's the two main ones, and then I think they had like a few extra, like they had 3 extra soldiers with them.
No, I think they had 3 or 4 people. That was it.
No, because
they had one person trying to get the girl. There's another person that was killing off the other people, and then
no. So there's the two. I'm gonna call them generals. It's the girl with the lionfish stuff, and then the guy with the hammerhead, and then there are 3 extra soldiers who aren't unique looking. Like they don't have like unique.
They're generic.
Yeah. And because those 3 were gonna go after them, and then Okoye attacked all 3 of them, and the guy I guess watched or something. Because then after she beats up those 3, he's like, oh, I'm gonna fight you, because this is gonna be kind of a challenge, I guess. Let's fight. And I love Okoye's and his, like, rivalry throughout the movie.
Yeah, because they're, like, main enforcers, and they're just like, I'm the enforcer. He's like, no, I'm the enforcer.
Yeah, I just love the whole, like, oh, hey, warrior, I'm gonna, like, at the end of the movie, he's like, oh, yeah, like, No, she, like, yells at him, like in his, like, native tongue, and is just like, hey, warrior, I'm here to fight you. And he's like, oh, I see that you're speaking the mother language. You can use it on all your family in the afterlife. It's like, jeez, my guy, stop. But they have such a funny rivalry. I love it.
I could just
It's
see them.
It's just
like,
big sibling energy.
oh yeah, but they want to kill each other.
Yeah,
but it's yeah.
Yeah.
You find out like the threat level of the Atlantean enforcers, and you're just like, yo, these guys can't die for some reason, but which I didn't like that because I just didn't like it because at the end of the movie they're like, oh, we're defeating these people, and
well, I can also see it being like just going back to Aquaman with them. They have like stronger skin and like their bodies are built different because they have like all the pressure from underwater, so it would have to be more resilient.
No, they have just so much water on them that any weapon just slips off of them.
Instead of 80% water, they're 100% water.
No, they're 200%.
I gotta have the extra in there.
It's like that weird Aquaman ability in the first Injustice game, where you input something and then he just covers himself in water and he takes less damage.
Oh.
If he just dumps a bucket of water on him.
When you dump a bucket on yourself and you become stronger.
Yeah. But
that's just Namor at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
That whole end fight when he's like, I need some water.
Okoye gets blasted by a water grenade out into the middle of the ocean, and she like sucks at swimming for a second. And
no, Sam, if you got exploded by water, would you also be? Would you be using the rest of your strength to swim?
Yeah.
Or how much? I feel like, yeah, I'm better than her. I can use up the rest of my energy to swim. It's not that hard.
Yeah, I've taken a blast of
I took it like a champ.
Yeah, I took a hit. I've been hit by a water grenade. Have you ever been in a water balloon fight? Same thing. I've been hit by one that didn't explode on contact.
That's just the whole end of the movie is a water balloon fight.
They pull out a Nerf Super Soaker. They're just like, dig on this. They're just pumping it. And they're like, wait, we're out. Time out. They just dunk the gun in the water, and you just see the bubbles just come out of it. And
no, that's why they bring big buckets of water onto the ships. They don't have to worry about it.
To continue on, this is absolute madness.
Yeah, well, just you being like, yeah, they get the super soakers, and then I sat here and I was like, what is this devolved into? How did my life get here?
So, Shuri and Riri are taken. They're taken to Talokan, and
because is Shuri just like, hold on, let me like take me to Namor, let me talk to him.
No, they both get taken because they're both out.
No, cause when the water grenade blows up, water splashes onto Shuri.
Oh, that's right.
She like wakes up. She's just like, what's happening? Where am I?
And then Riri's just like.
She is for sure dead.
But they're taken to Talokan, and then they're like,
I'm surprised that they didn't take Okoye, but
she was blasted into the.
But they also went into the water. She was on one side of the bridge and they were on the other.
They can't see
Shuri
it.
could have just been like, oh hey, can we go get my friend over there real quick?
They're like, no, she's dead. She got blasted with water.
The guy, the general's just like, nah, she's dead.
I'm the better warrior. I killed her.
He's just like, nah. Just their rivalry. He's like, nah, she's fine. What the heck was the other general doing? What the heck? Or was it just him? Because So I'm trying to think of what the other lady was doing.
No, because Okoye took him
them.
out. Okoye took.
No, because there's
slashed him up.
No, there's
and the other one was
generals.
taking out the bystanders.
Oh, okay.
So there was no witnesses.
Okay, yeah, I totally. Yeah, that's when the cop's like, "Is that chick blue?" And then dies. The best line in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Is that chick blue? Famous last word.
Let's continue. So,
Okoye gets fired.
Yeah, because Queen's
know.
Like, you let my daughter die. I can't believe you.
That part. I know we make it sound real dumb with how we explain everything, but that part was so gut-wrenching.
Well,
because it's like she doesn't, like, neither of them know if Shuri's alive.
Yeah.
So it's just like, they're just, worst case scenario is she's dead, and Ramonda's like, I've lost my whole family. And, like, I think that's when the whole council comes in and M'Baku comes with the... No,
the carrot was at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. So I was like, no, this is too serious of a scene to have him picking fights with people and eating carrots.
Yeah.
But, yeah, because they mention her husband, who was the guy in the first movie who helps Killmonger, I think.
He's not in this movie.
Yeah, he's not in this movie, but, like, they make mention of him, like, because Ramonda's like, yeah, your husband's in jail where you can go visit him. My whole family's dead and I can't see them. Right. So this is like your punishment for taking my whole family away. Even though it's like, don't blame, like, I sit here like, don't blame Okoye, please. She's my baby. But I understand, but also it's like, no, go talk to Namor. You have the seashell to call him. You have the magic conch. Go talk to him about this.
Yeah.
Go be mad at him, not Okoye. She did nothing wrong. She tried her best.
Best isn't good enough, I guess.
I guessed.
So, Shuri and Riri,
they go to
Talokan, and there's some funny bits of like, here's some stuff, and like, don't trust that. Have you seen all these movies?
Have you seen all these movies that our company owns?
Have you seen Indiana Jones? Have you seen
I feel so
Have you seen Disney's have you seen Beauty and the Beast? Have you seen Star Wars? You know Princess Leia? They give them the weird clothes.
And that one white chick from Indiana Jones, who's like the best character out of all the ladies of Indiana Jones.
Oh wait, never mind. Of the first Indiana Jones, I thought you were talking about the second one because she's the worst.
All of the ladies from Indiana Jones that are love interests, she's the best one.
Yeah, but side tangent.
Anyways,
they're like, oh, Namor wants to see you, and they're like, okay, wear this. And
I know. Well, I know that you were saying last night, you were like, man, I'm so happy that they didn't make it a romantic thing, because they totally play it off like a romantic thing.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, let me show you what Atlantis is, or Talokan. They're like, let's go. Let me show. I can show you the world.
Which, like, that kind of, like, that
floaty, shimmering, and wet.
It's really dark down here.
And spooky. And now let your heart decide.
Look at all these glowworms. Anyways. This sucks. We're gonna get copyright strikes. I don't know, it kind of felt weird that he was like, let me show you my like, it makes sense what he was doing, but it was also just, like, totally weird where he's like, here, put on this real big bulky suit that's attached to nothing, and you can somehow breathe in it, and let's go, take my hand, we're zooming off.
Yeah.
And then, I like how at the end when,
So,
like they show like the people of Talokan like doing their stuff, but then and like also comparing it to like the people of like Wakanda and like doing flashes of that.
Mm-hmm.
So like it kind of makes sense because it's just him showing like, hey, look, we're not that different, and you should help us.
Yeah, help me help you. I heard you say you wanted to burn the world. Let's burn the world together.
Well.
But I think it's by far one of the prettiest scenes next to the funeral.
I think it just looks okay, but I'm also
I liked, they introduced something that would have been a really cool thing that they sort of just threw away, was the artificial sun.
Ooh, yeah.
The artificial sun was super cool.
Yeah.
They're like, well, we don't see anything down here.
Dude, he's Prometheus.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know what Prometheus did.
Prometheus is Greek guy who stole fire from the underground, and everyone was pissed. So then he got cursed to being eaten by birds every day.
And what does this have to do with the artificial sun?
Because he took the sun, he got the sun in the palm of his hands, and gave it to his people, just like how Prometheus got fire for humanity.
Okay. But
I wish it was a little bit brighter.
Yeah.
It felt dark in some spots, and it's like, okay, you could have brought up the saturation a little bit in this spot and this spot, but I'm also just like, we got a real pretty Atlantis from Aquaman, but also I feel like all that was like it wouldn't have been good for like the vibes, because Aquaman was more like, it kind of reminded me of like Tron with how bright everything was.
Mm-hmm.
But then I like how this one, it felt like, oh, this was like a city that got drowned in the water, and it's just at the bottom of the ocean. That's where they're at now.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like that. So it's like, I can't be like, I don't know. I don't know. I wish they would have made it a bit brighter. Because everything was just too dark. That's why you should watch it in the theater if you still haven't watched it and you're still here.
Yeah. Then to sort of move on, Queen Ramonda's just like, well, there's only one person that I know who can infiltrate Talokan and find out where it is. And then cue the person who I totally forgot about being in the Black Panther movies, but is also super dope, and it's Nakia?
Nakia.
Yeah.
Or Nakia.
Nakia. She's in Haiti because she couldn't be in Wakanda for some reason.
I think she just left because it's like, I don't want to be a spy anymore, because that was her whole thing.
I think she
wanted to help you. I think also.
Well, that's how she was in. That's what she was like in the first movie, actually, because she didn't want to be in Wakanda because she wanted to be.
Yeah, she wanted to help people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think also there's other reasons why I can see her being in Haiti.
But the queen goes in there and is just like, hey, I need your help. And she's like, I'm in Haiti. And she's like, well, leave. and she's like, okay.
I guess.
And
yeah, since the blip, she's been in Haiti.
So she sends Nakia to go help.
To go get Shuri and Riri.
And she suddenly knows like 20 billion languages, can speak Spanish, Atlantean, and Wakandan, and English. That's 50 right there. We counted all 50 of them right there. Okay, why is she's such a cool character, and she was underutilized in this movie, I swear.
Mm-hmm.
But like at the same time, she was used quite a bit. But she goes in, infiltrates Talokan like super easily.
Yeah.
and learns about the history of Namor and how Namor was like
He's like
people were sick with smallpox or something.
it's whatever
whatever the conquistadors came in and brought.
I think they mentioned smallpox.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's the main one.
So then like somehow they got this they got the not heart-shaped herb juice, but for the Mayans. And they drank that. Then they became blue. They dove into the water, became fish, and then she gave birth to Namor in the water. And then it's just like, for some reason now I have pointy ears and winged feet. That's what being birthed out of the water does. But like when you're the first one to do that, and then he goes back to the water because his mom died, and was like, "Hey, let's bury her on the land." Namor comes back to drop off the body, bury it in front of their house, and then come to find out at the house are these, I
think it's like at a plantation.
Yeah, and they're like, this is ran by slave people. Like, who's that boy?
Who's this pointed-eared kid over here?
Whose kid is this? And they're like, shoot him?
I guess. No, and then like the other people come out with his mom's body and they're like, whoa, they're blue. Yeah. Is that chick blue?
And then they kill him just like the cop. And then the priest is like, I curse you. And then he got cursed? What did the curse do?
He wasn't cursed, I think.
Oh no, he was just called him somebody who can't be loved, which is translated to Namor, I guess.
Namor's part of it, but it's like there's like a longer phrase, but Namor was just like
for
someone without love.
Oh yeah, because for some reason they tried to kill everybody and
no, they just destroyed the whole plantation.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, be freed, my guys.
Well, they didn't say be freed. It just looked like they destroyed the entire plantation.
Yeah.
And then they're like, priest man's like, you're stupid. You're going to be called stupid now. And he's like, okay, I'll be called stupid then.
He's like, yeah, I guess you're right. My mom's dead, so I guess I am dumb.
And
no, really, he just lost his heart because he buried it with his mom. Big sad.
Yeah.
And then
okay, I was making a joke and then I forgot what I was going to say after.
He was too committed to the bit. Yeah, that was before she goes into...
Yeah, that's when she was talking. That's when she was talking to the Spanish lady who also was Atlantean, and then,
no, she's not Atlantean. She just she witnessed. She
can speak Atlantean.
Yeah.
So they go down. She goes into the water, saves them, while Queen Ramonda's just like, I'm gonna use the conch shell and talk to Namor.
Magic conch. Yeah. Oh, magic conch! Can you bring Namor to me? No. Ask me it one more time. No. I can't even remember what Squidward was like asking the conch.
Yeah. But basically,
yeah,
Nakia comes in, steals everybody, while the queen's just like, I'll talk to you off screen, and distracts them, and
I think they show them talking like a little bit, but I can't remember the dialogue that they said or what they were talking about. Or she was just cussing him out for.
No. Like, he's like, "Where's my daughter? Where's my kid?"
I love how you make it sound so mean. Just like, yeah, this is what this idiot said. Where's my kid?
Where's my kid? I want my kid right now.
It's like, no, this is emotional scene.
You took my daughter from me right after my son died. Give me my daughter back.
You're a heartless human being. And he's like, joke's on you. My name means heartless.
And then Sora comes in, he's like heartless, slashes him with the keyblade, and then sends him into the Kingdom Hearts realm. End of movie.
Dude, they could totally do that too because Disney owns Marvel, so they can throw him in.
Yeah.
Did they have any Marvel stuff in the new one?
No, they didn't. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen in the new one.
Next one is just going to be Marvel, no Disney.
I think it's going to be Marvel and Star Wars. But besides the point. So basically,
they get out of there.
And
Namor comes back home, and he's like, "Where are they?" And they're like, "They got out of here, sir." And he's like, "All right, well, let's go
one
fight
thing
them."
that was interesting, that was sort of stupid, was Nakia has this gun, shoots one of them, they're fine. Shoots another person, they're not fine. And that girl dies. I don't understand.
I thought the first one just died immediately. The other one just got shot in the stomach and was still alive. And Shuri was like, "Come on, we gotta save him." Or...
Stick this bead in him. And he's like, "No, we gotta go. I want to stick the bead."
I'm upset because Oh well, I guess I shouldn't. Actually, no. I'd be more upset. I'm more upset later on what happens. But yeah. So when they first got attacked by the Atlanteans, Shuri's bracelet somehow came off. I can't remember what she was doing, but her bracelet came off. So then, like, this whole other side thing that
should be taken out of the movie.
Yeah, that's probably my one big gripe that I know for sure right now is, like, the whole plot with Ross being like, "I found these beads and I'm going to pretend that I'm talking on a phone, but also I'm just talking to a bracelet and I'm just going to talk to people." It's like, this is kind of pointless. Like, you could have, I don't know.
And then somehow Valentina Whitebag is there. Valentina Whitebag from the other ones after she was a Vine legend.
I sat here and I was like, Valentina Whitebag, what does that mean?
In your mind, you're just like, my Valentina Whitebag?
Look at my Valentina Whitebag.
You spilled red lipstick on my little Whitebag? Kevin's kicking in! It's late and yeah. Okay. But Valentina Whitebag, she's married to
the Muffin Man.
Okay.
No, they're exes.
They're married.
They were married. They're divorced now.
Okay.
They're not married.
The whole stupid plot.
Yeah,
side plot.
I get what she's doing, where it's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make my own Avengers with, like, people that are kind of like the Avengers."
But they're bad.
Yeah. Like, I sit here and I'm like, they're just making their own Suicide Squad, and this lady's just annoying. She's not cool like Amanda Waller, where it's like she takes nothing from anyone, and it's just like her way or the highway. With Valentina, it's like she just feels like Valentina just feels like just the preppy girls from high school who are like all that, and like
now, a bag of chips.
No, and then now they're like 40 and they still act like they're all that and still think that they're like the coolest person ever, when it's like, no, you're just mean.
But their bag of chips
no one
are
likes
empty.
you. Yeah.
But yeah, so that whole side plot that doesn't matter, that shouldn't be in the movie, is they should have had the one scene where he's jogging to the song and he's just like, "Yeah, go find this lady," and then that's the end of that interaction. And because they don't even show any of the CIA come and or anything, and they could have showed another scene being like, "Mr. Ross, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh no, that's my ex-wife," and which is such a stupid plot, random thing that they didn't.
All of it was just dumb.
Yeah. But
I wasn't feeling it. Like, they could have just left it, just him jogging, them chatting, and then he can just allude to Valentine, but then they don't have to show her.
it's Valentina.
I don't care.
Allegra Valentina Constantine trash singing slasher. Trash slinging slasher.
The trash flinging, the rash hanging.
The brash singing.
But yeah, I don't like that whole thing.
Cut it out.
Yeah. Because it doesn't even, like, the only thing that it goes to is just like,
Oh yeah,
like
get a load of this lady.
Like it's like, oh, she knew the whole time that he had the beads and was talking to Wakanda. Now he's gonna go to jail. And oh, the very end of the movie, the truck that's taking him gets crashed, and Okoye is like, all right, come on, we're taking you to Wakanda. Come on, buddy. And then that's it. When it's like, okay, cool. Like, that thing was also just like there's a lot of things that could have been like, okay, this is the end, but then it's like, oh no, it's just wrapping up what's happening to Ross.
Yeah.
Ross from Friends.
Mm-hmm. When the other lady from Friends is also there, that's Valentina.
Oh, really?
She's from Friends. Wait, is she in Friends? No, she's from Seinfeld.
I was like, I've never seen Friends, so I don't know.
But, okay, let's continue on to the more important stuff. Namor's like, I feel betrayed. I'm going to go destroy Wakanda. He goes in, destroys Wakanda, and is just like, I'm the strongest mother effer.
And then kills the mom.
Yeah.
He kills the queen, which was awful.
Yeah. And
I was very surprised that they killed her.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it made me upset because it's like, no, please, Shuri has already lost everyone. And like, I also sat there like, okay, well, they killed her just for like Shuri to like see her like in the afterlife or in the ancestral plane for them to have a talking to. And then they don't really use that. Because it's like, okay, well, they can't really use T'Challa to do the pep talk. So let's kill the mom and then she can do the pep talk. And then they don't use her. They bring in someone else.
Yeah.
And it's not her dad.
Which they should have brought her dad or her mom first. But, okay,
Yeah.
so Wakanda gets destroyed, and it's pretty cool.
It is. I'm surprised that Namor just didn't, like, I'm surprised. Oh no, he thought that he killed Riri. No, but wasn't he standing there when they were trying to do CPR on both of them?
Yeah. Well, he's just like, I think he just assumed both of them were going to die. And he's just like, you're in charge. I'm going to come back. You're either going to work with me or you're against me. So they destroy, he single-handedly destroys Wakanda.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Which that scene was kind of crazy because, like, it shows, like, Okoye and Nakia just chatting and Okoye being like, I'm ashamed. I'm like the worst person ever and you saved him and I'm just happy that you got Shuri back and then, like, because they're, like, in a building and then you, like, look out and, like, through the doorway you can see water rising and it's like, hello? What's happening?
But the floor isn't usually wet.
Wait a minute. Yeah. They use their grenades everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, mom dies,
M'Baku gets punched in the chest and, like, explodes a building.
we forgot a vital thing. While they were in Atlantis, or when they were in, Talokan. Why do I want to say Taluka?
Luca, the best Pixar movie in a while.
I was gonna say Taluka body.
Taluka body.
But no, while they're in Talokan, after, like, Namor, like, gives Shuri, like, a little chat, like, after he shows her Talokan and was like, I just want to protect my people. He gave her a bracelet that's made with like fibers of like the, I don't know what.
It's
they
their
call-
equivalent of like the heart-shaped herb.
Yeah, and it looks like a aloe vera. That's what I was thinking of. But yeah, so he gave her a bracelet that's like made with that stuff.
And I assume it was
then-
for some sort of peace offering.
Yeah. Because I think, was that from his mom?
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I can see that being a peace offering.
Yeah. But sorry, at first I'm like, oh, he's like asking if they want to unite worlds and then get married.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, let's unite and destroy the world.
You can be my queen in this world. Which I'm happy they didn't do. I'm happy that it wasn't like a love kind of story.
Yeah.
But I also was low-key convinced that the girl general was like his wife, maybe. But then,
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought that when I was watching the movie. I think I just sat there and I was like, oh, she's wearing a cool headdress and like I can see like a princess or queen wearing that, so gotta be related. When it's like, no, they're just cool characters, so they're gonna have cool clothing.
Because they're just like the enforcers, while Namor, he's a
Namor's-
god to the people.
Yeah.
He's not like somebody that I think people would be like, I can't marry that person. This person's a god. So
Yeah,
after that all happens,
Yeah, after her mom dies, they do like, M'Baku's like, hey, just have your people come camp out at my place.
hey,
'Cause
come
that's-
chill at my place.
Oh, it's at like a small funeral for her mom,
Yeah.
and while she's like standing over her grave, this scene just makes me love M'Baku. He's such a, like, this is when I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna be a brother type character now, because he comes over and comforts Shuri and is like, hey, like, I know this is all super hard on you, and you can like have your people come live in like where my tribe is, and we'll take care of them, we'll protect them, so you don't have to worry about that. And it's like, just like, I don't know, it's interesting to see his character like go from the first movie where he's like, I'm gonna fight everyone because I want to be the Black Panther and I'm the coolest one, and my tribe is like the one that got kicked out of everyone's, but I'm gonna crash the party.
Mm-hmm.
To him being like,
He's now the
like,
stoic.
yeah, and like
Showing
I
that he's an actual like tribal leader, like he's a leader, not just the strong man that's alpha. He's not the alpha. He's a leader.
Yeah, and I like it because like they showed his kindness in the first movie, but he was like also still like kind of standoffish because it's like, y'all kicked me out of Wakanda, so we're all camping out in the mountains. But I guess I'll keep your mom and sister safe. T'Challa. I was gonna say Chadwick, and I was like, no, Black Panther, no. Too many names going in my head. Yeah. But yeah, and then this one, like you see, like just him softening up to everyone.
Mm-hmm. That's where he sort of upgraded, but like everything else, he sort of downgraded.
Yeah, because I think he was also somewhat of like a trying to be like a comedy relief character, but then not really.
Mm-hmm.
Like him eating the carrot. But yeah, so he's just like giving her words of wisdom and just being like hey, I know you don't have anyone, like I know you don't have your family, but you can always like come to me and I can help you out. And I was like, M'Baku, you're the best boy, I love you so much. And then yeah, after that, is that when,
I don't know what leads to it, but somehow they're like, we need the Black Panther, and like there must have been a conversation that I can't remember what the conversation was, but
Yeah, because, no, so they bring, like, a bunch of stuff to... I'm sad because I can't remember the place. Let me see if they have it listed, but it's M'Baku's
The
tribe.
Jabari.
Jabari, yeah.
The Jabari
Wait,
land.
let me see.
It's Jabari. Let's continue.
Okay. Yeah, so they go to his place, and, like, all of, like, the tribe leaders are all talking, and that's when they're like, we need the Black Panther. And then Shuri's, like, hanging out in her little man cave, or her laboratory man cave, whatever you want to call it. And then, like, realizes, like, he has something that's kind of like the heart-shaped herb. Let's try it out.
Yeah.
And then she, like, does that. And then at the same time is Riri making... Is that when she's like, alright guys, let's all... Like, does she get, like, her laboratory up and running and, like, Riri's making her suit?
No,
or is that later?
Right now, that's later.
Okay.
So right now they're just making the... They're making... Like, so what she does is make the heart-shaped herb and then compare it to Chadwick's DNA to see if it would heal it. Because I think that's something that she was trying to get over, because she's like, I couldn't even save my brother.
Yeah.
How can I save these people?
Yeah.
And then she comes up with the heart-shaped herb, like the artificial heart-shaped herb, and and then they explain like a half second before it happens. They're like, Nakia's like, how do you know if it works? And she's like, if it glows. And then it glows, and she's like, it worked. I'm like, that's sort of silly. They should have explained, if it glows, it'll work. And then, like, at the beginning of the movie, and it doesn't work. Then they can show. They have that contrast.
Yeah.
But,
or they didn't have to explain it. Like, they could have just had Nakia say, like, oh, how do we know if it works? And Shuri's just, like, ignoring her and just watching it. And then once it glows, she can have the reaction of just like, oh, it worked. And then...
Or just be like, I've never worked with this kind of stuff. We'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
And they do it. They get it all fixed and whatever, without explaining any of the science behind it. They had some like rolling pin thing that looked like a donut.
They were crushing up. Yeah, they were just crushing up the plant.
Yeah. But it works, and then she takes a sip of the juice. They do the weird little thing so she can get sent to the ancestral plane.
I like how when they were doing that, she's like, I don't want to do the dumb tradition of like you burying me. I don't need that. Just make sure I don't die from cardiac arrest.
And then Riru's like, wait, actually,
would that happen?
And then instead of saying anything, they put like the little beads on her chest.
Yeah.
I
guess it could happen.
Yeah. But
yeah, so she goes to the ancestral plane, which I thought
to see her mother.
No. I did think that it was interesting how she started off in the water and then it like she's like where her mom died. I think that's where they were trying to make it seem like, oh, it's going to be her mom because that's where her mom died and it's in the throne room.
Yeah.
And then, surprise! It's Michael Jordan!
Michael B. Jordan.
No, it's Michael Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. Not to confuse with the basketball player Michael Jordan.
Imagine if they did do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, surprise, it's Killmonger. It's not her family and she's upset, which like... I know for this part, I'm like, okay, I need to watch the movie again because I need to find out what the heck they were talking about. Because, like, I don't know. To me, they were, like, talking way too fast for my brain to process it. That's why I kind of like subtitles so then I can read it because then I'm hearing it and also reading it so then it gets processed better.
Yeah. But it's interesting because it then explains, like, oh, what, did you think you'd see your brother? Or did you think you'd see any of your family? Well, I'm here, cuz. And it's just like...
I love his attitude.
Yeah. And it sucks that I'm pretty sure he was not expected to be in the movie at all.
Yeah, but now when you look up the cast, he's like the first person on there.
But it was an interesting scene because it was then like, oh, I'm here to just be that internal foil for you, being like, you actually,
I'm gonna be the devil on your shoulder, basically.
Yeah.
Because she was talking about earlier, like, yeah, I'm just mad at the world because my brother got taken away from me, so I'm just gonna be mad at everything.
Yeah.
And he's kind of there, like, yeah, fuel your anger with it, yeah, kill him. I love how she was like disappointed, like, oh well, the traditional stuff wasn't real, and then he's kind of there, like it's funny because it's like, oh, bro, you're in the ancestral plane, so obviously the traditional stuff works. But I think because it's like, she, like, doesn't believe in it, that she doesn't, like, I don't know if this makes sense, but, like, since she doesn't believe in it, she, like, just sees people that would kind of have, like, the same mindset.
Well, it's sort of that same idea, but it's not because of the belief.
Mm-hmm.
It's her motives behind it. Because, like, T'Challa saw his father because it was just like, this is my birthright. This is me.
It's him honoring his legacy.
Yeah. While she is getting it so she can be strong enough to vanquish.
It's for vengeance.
Yeah, for vengeance.
I'm vengeance. The Batman reference of today.
Yeah. And but then they have the whole thing. It was like, I'm nothing like you. And it's like, you're exactly like me. You've lost everything. You feel deprived. And we both want this power so we can take out our enemies. And your brother was a noble person, which is great. He
had honor, and we, like, he was like, yeah, your brother had honor, but we don't. We have.
I can't remember what the wording was.
Yeah, but I know that he called.
Not Chadwick.
I know. I keep on.
T'Challa.
I keep on also wanting to say Chadwick, and I'm like, no, not that.
Yeah. So she gets out of there, and Nakia is like, "Who did you see? Who did you see?" And she's like, "I saw no one." And she didn't want to say that she saw what's his name?
Killmonger.
Yeah.
And so she tried to play it off like, yeah, it didn't work. And then she gets mad and punches a mannequin.
And makes it goes flying.
Flies.
And it's like, you lied. Dude! And so then you have like the montage of now...
now we gotta fight.
Well, they're preparing for battle. They have the Black Panther suit being made. And then they have the Ironheart suit. Which that's what Riri's superhero, like, comic book name is. She's called Ironheart, if you didn't know that.
Yeah.
But they have and that, and they have the plan.
I don't think she makes the Black Panther suit. I think
she would have to, but still.
I think she was making the... Why did I want to say Nightingale suits? The
Midnight
Angel. That's what's...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think.
I can't remember.
But yeah, she was just improving those suits, I think. Or no, I feel like she was improving them the whole movie.
But yeah, she finishes the suits to make to give them to
Okoye.
To Okoye and is it Nika?
Anika.
Yeah, Anika.
Yeah. That whole scene was fun where Okoye is like, hey, I'm like just like going to Anika and being like, hey, you're a spunky kid. You want to join my team?
She's like, what do you mean? She's like, join the team. Fight for Wakanda. She's like,
of course.
I'll do it.
Let's go.
Then they find out the battle plan. They figure out Namor's weakness because they're like, he seems stronger when he's closer to water. And they're like, oh, the plan is...
He always has water on him. That's what's giving him power.
Yeah. That's his source of strength is water. So we need to take him out to the desert.
I like how... No, they make one of their ships into, like, an oven, basically.
A sauna.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
no, because the sauna has steam.
Okay, fine.
It's more of a toaster.
Doesn't matter. basically what happens is that the Talokan come in and they're actually wrecking house pretty bad.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're like, we need to take out Namor, and then they take out Namor and this sucks because we are like running really short on time, so we're like blitzing through this. So basically, this final battle sequence is like,
they're trying to separate Namor from the rest of them.
Yeah, the main idea is just to dry him out, to beat him, just like a towel.
It's like me trying to dry off the dogs after they have a bath.
You beat the dogs?
No, they run away from me and I'm like, come back.
I want to dry you off.
Me chasing them with my arms out, holding a towel, being like, get back here.
But basically the ship is like covered in Atlanteans. I'm gonna call them Atlanteans. I've been the Talokan are like covering the ship, like just taking it apart and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Namora is like breaking like the bottom part of it, destroying the sonar.
Namora's the one that has the lionfish looking headdress and outfit.
Yeah, we figured out her name while we
I figured it out, fellas.
But yeah, but basically they're attacking, they're starting to lose, and for some reason, well, not for some reason, then the new Black Panther, Shuri, comes in and like kicks trash for a little bit. Doesn't kill him, because that's what superheroes do. You can slash them all you want with your claws, but won't kill him because they're the main character of this movie.
One thing that I will say was pretty cool about this fight scene is when the Dora Milaje, like they have like a rope tied to them, and then M'Baku's tribe like holds onto the rope while they like jump over the side.
Yeah.
I don't know, that
was an interesting thing.
That was super cool.
I'm just like, look, now half your troops now you have half your troops attacking.
Yeah. But I mean, it looked so good. But that was like at the very beginning of the fight, so they had a bit more people.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that was just on half of the ship, or they had it on both sides of the ships, and then there's anyway. Yeah, I thought that was pretty neat. Okoye and General Man. I never found out his name. Those two go at it.
They give each other the middle finger, being like, hey, warrior.
I'm the cooler one!
And then, I'm the cooler one!
I have the shark head on my head!
I have a blue suit!
I have cool head tattoos.
I got spear!
I'm cooler than you. I'm a Okoye. There's nothing else to say. I'm cooler than you.
The camera's pointing at me more often, so I'm cooler than you.
I have the best lines in the movie. And then
the battle ensues, and you have your powerful moments of Wakandans taking control, and then Atlanteans come in and take control. But then out of nowhere, our hero comes in, Miss Shuri, Black Panther now, comes in, pulls out her blasters, shoots 2 blasts. So you remember that she has the blasters from the movie before. Then she uses her claws and yeah, it was fine. But
I also feel like she's not physically imposing, but she hasn't been training to become a Black Panther her whole life.
Yeah, and she's somehow some crazy skilled fighter when she was not a skilled fighter in the first movie.
I feel like she's just okay, but I think now she has the confidence of the heart-shaped herb strength stuff.
Do you not remember how terrible of a fight she stood against Killmonger?
No, I can't.
All she did was just try to blast, and then he's just like, "Ooh, I'll take the hit. Ooh, I'll take the hit." Walks towards them, and Killmonger takes a few hits, but is still like pushing forward, and it's not really doing much of effect. And then she holds like some sort of pulse energy on him, and he just comes over and crushes one of the guns.
Mm.
She doesn't
But
really
also-
stand too much of a chance against him. But
yeah, but
it's
I
fine.
feel like there's like a few years in between these two.
Yeah.
Well, there's
fair.
definitely, because who
Oh,
knows?
yeah.
I can't remember if she got dusted in the blip, but
I think
because if she didn't, I can see her like training just to. No, I think she did, because I think it was just the mom that was. No, I can't remember, but I can see her like. I can see there being a few years like
I know
after Endgame
Okoye-
from this.
yeah.
Yeah, Okoye survived.
Yeah.
But I can see her training just like whenever she, like if she comes back from the blip or if she never left, she just trained after like the first Black Panther movie. Because like I can see being like, I had no idea what I was doing that first time. I should probably strengthen my weapons and know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Fair. That's a fair point.
Yeah.
But she just goes through, fights, and knocks a whole bunch of people off, and then
and then lures
at-
out Namor, and then
Ironheart goes to attack Namor, and then Namor, they fly up, and I thought, oh yeah, they're gonna fly. He's flying her up, or they can chase each other, so they
and
can
then
go
he's
to higher
gonna lose
up.
oxygen.
Yeah, but then it doesn't really show that.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But also I can see it being like, oh, well, he still has water on his body, so he can still breathe with the water that's on his body.
Yeah, and he's flying through the clouds, which is just pure.
Which that's all water. Yeah.
But
That looked real pretty when they were like above the clouds.
yeah, but so it was like a luring trap and whatever, and somehow she blasts. Ironheart blasts. When I say Ironheart, this is Riri. Just clarifying again. Ironheart shoots Namor onto the ship.
And then they just book it.
Yeah.
Because they're just trying to. They're like, oh, he's gonna destroy the ship. Because he's like, they made it a toaster in here. I gotta get out of here. So they're just like, gotta go to the desert. Gotta get there as fast as we can.
Sure, he's like,
Oh yeah, she's
you
also
ready?
on the ship too.
Yeah, she's on the ship now,
You
and
ready
she's
to
like,
turn into some fish sticks?
yeah, she's like, here's a side of fries for you. Here's some fish and chips. I'll save you for later. And then he's like, no! Pulls his spear out, starts stabbing the ship to break it down. And then she's like, oh no, the thing's overreacting. Too much power. It's going to blow up.
Oh no.
And then they fight each other.
Our
and
cables.
then, yeah. And the ship explodes. They land on this island. And then here comes like, okay, there's a couple bits in here that was super dope. Like Namor's fighting, we didn't even explain it in like his destruction through Wakanda.
Dude,
but
he
like
just has
him,
the best. He has like the best like fight scenes in this movie.
well, like the way that he's depicted fighting, like his
He's
winged
ruthless.
feet. Well, his winged feet, instead of like him just like you usually have like your winged people like Falcon. He has like his jetpack and his wings, and he'll flap around or whatever, or whatever.
But with him, yeah,
But
like with
with
him,
him-
it looks like he's running.
Yeah, I think that's super sick,
Mm-hmm.
and he's super fast, so he's just like sprinting up.
He's
the
fast
air.
and he's super strong too. So like,
Yeah,
he's just a force to be reckoned with.
yeah, and one of the coolest scenes is probably the best depiction of how fighting somebody who's flying is like. It shows like, I'm gonna call her Black Panther now because she is the Black Panther.
Yeah.
But Shuri, she's
I'm gonna call her Black Panther now because she's Black Panther. But Shuri,
okay. Yeah, well,
that's funny.
I need to connect the two together.
Comedy
So the
gold.
Black Panther and Namor are now fighting, and it just shows her looking around, looking for him, and then all of a sudden, whoosh, he comes in and just like attacks and like throws her to the side, and then she just like is still looking around, super like confused on where he's at, and comes rushing in. I thought it was a cool visual, which I think
It's not like boring people just floating in the air.
It reminds
getting
me of
punched around.
it reminds me of last weekend when we were at our aunt's house, and there was a bird that came in to the house, and I was like Shuri, and being like, oh, where's the bird?
Where is he?
Where's the bird? And then the bird comes flying past me like, ah! And I totally just elbow my aunt who's standing behind me. But yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was a fun time. I've never felt like I've a superhero before until that moment.
You didn't do anything.
No, I opened up the garage door.
You opened the garage door, but I was the one that had to go in the room that the bird was in to lure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It was
I'm
a
the
team
superhero.
effort.
I'm the superhero.
Anyways.
But yeah, super sick sequence. And then all of a sudden, because he's not wet anymore. He's just a dry boy.
No, he's just a regular guy right
yeah.
now. He's only like 100% water, but he needs the other 100% to make himself feel better.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'm going to make it 80% and then blows him up.
Well, no, what happens is that
75%.
like one of the times that he's flying past, she grabs his one of the ankle wings and cuts it off.
Oh yeah, which that was brutal, but I also sat there like I sat there and I was like, I wonder if... It's so dumb. It's just like, chicken wings.
Oh my gosh.
That was like during that scene too. I was like, oh dude, she can make a chicken wing out of that. That was like for like no thoughts, just chicken. I'm dying over here. I'm gonna start crying.
It's way too late right now.
But
Yeah.
I think it just happened so quick. Like it wasn't like quick where it's like, what happened? It was more like, oh.
But then
Daddy!
So once the wing came off, you then see like the vicious side, the part that was just like
What part was it where the whole theater was like, ooh?
Oh no, that was at
the very beginning when he just slams her.
No, the part where everybody was like, ooh, was the Okoye fight with the warrior dude, the main enforcer, because he stabs down his staff, throws her into the staff, and separates her shoulder, and then she pops it back in. And I'm like, ooh. So now this is the part where like back to the final fight. Mm-hmm. This is the part where like proving Killmonger's proving that she's like him.
The devil on her shoulder is winning.
Yeah. So like she pulls out her claws and whatever and just starts just being more vicious and like slashing him and whatnot. You see cuts across his face because you realize that he's not wearing any armor at this point.
My man is just wearing shorts. So I think she starts attacking him and being vicious, but then he is vicious back and like I can't remember what happens, but no, she's like closer to him. I think he starts ganging up on her and then she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna blow up the ship now.
Yeah.
And then blows it up.
She says the theme of the movie, which should roll the credits. She says Wakanda Forever. The ship blows up.
And that's when the credits roll.
Yeah. And
there's no resolution.
You hear like the NCIS like opening the yeah.
Wow.
She puts on sunglasses and leaves.
Wow.
But basically, yeah. So now he really wants water, and
he says it too.
Like, I need water. Water.
I don't need it.
I don't need it.
I
don't need it.
I need it.
And then Sandy Cheeks comes out and he's just like, what the heck is going on here?
He put a fishbowl on his head full. Man, I hope someone makes an edit where that's what the Atlanteans look like when they're above water. The
Yeah, instead of like the face mask, it's just a
it's just the fishbowl on their head. Then they put a tea bag in it for them to drink some tea.
Okay. So basically, they get to a point where he's like down and like basically like this is it for him. She comes in and she's like about to kill him, and then all of a sudden her mom shows up like in an ancestral plane voice, and it's just like
it's like a quick flash too, which is like, oh, I wish they didn't do that.
I think they were trying to. I think why they showed the two were to like showing Killmonger and then now his mom, her mom.
Well, I think they should have,
so they could have the contrast and sort of have like a conflict within Shuri of how she should be, which I don't think that's the thing that Shuri needs to grow from. Like, sure, it's a good thing to know not to be vicious and be a terrible leader. Like, learn to not be a vicious, power-hungry, vengeful
leader.
Yeah.
Yeah. That she needs to just be kind to people.
Yeah. And so she gets that motivational speech from her mom saying like, remember who you are. And she is like, no, we're done, or like we're done like, fighting.
Mm-hmm. Well, she also has him pinned down and
like
all that too.
Yeah,
we forgot to mention that.
Yeah,
but also he's like,
do you yield?
He's laying on the floor just on fire.
He's just a dead fish.
He's dehydrated salmon over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's just like, hey, we need to like. All this fighting's dumb. Like, why don't we just, like, we don't have to kill her. We can just work together.
Yeah.
And, like, we can, like, cover up for you guys so no one knows about you.
Yeah.
But then you can come to our aid if we need you.
Mm-hmm.
And
they build a truce and whatever, and
yeah.
Movies just sort of ends, I guess. Well,
they tie up everything because then, like... because they have, I don't know, like...
Well, they fly back on that ship, and they're like, yo,
we're besties now!
They kiss each other on the lips, and they're like, what?
Marriage?
Yeah. She's married to the Submariner. The Submariner? The Submariner! She's married to the Submariner. The one who lives in... lives in Mexico?
The one who lives in Atlantis?
No, Talokan.
Wow.
Shrek reference.
Not just Shrek, it's just a gingerbread man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then they start tying up, like, everyone's, like, just what they've been doing throughout the movie. Like, with Ross, basically, his whole thing is like, oh, I'm going to pretend that I'm not talking to the Wakandans, but my boss also knew this whole time, and now she's mad at me, and now I'm going to jail.
My boss ex-wife?
My boss ex-wife? I don't think that should be allowed. I think I need to talk to HR.
Yeah.
But,
oh, yeah, and he was going to jail.
Yeah, he was going to jail, and then, like, while they're driving him to jail, because he's, like... in like a truck, there's a knocked over tree, and they're like, dude, we gotta go see what it is. And Okoye comes over, and I keep on wanting to say Nightingale on her. I've been playing too much Skyrim. In her Night Angel suit. I think it's funny because oh my gosh, because like no one has like seen the Wakandans wearing like these outfits, so. Like, when she opens up the back door, Ross is like, what's happening? Please don't kill me. What's going on? And then it's like Okoye, and she's like, ha, fooled ya, idiot. And then that's the end of that. Then it has Namor talking with Namora, his cousin, and she's just like chewing him out, being like, why did you what'd you agree to, like, why are we alliance with them? They should be dead. Like just chewing him out, and he's like, no, like, the world isn't gonna know about us, and the Wakandans are gonna cover for us, and whenever they are gonna alliance with us, then that's when we can strike and just destroy the world. Flood it everywhere. And then the end of the movie is Shuri. It's Shuri in Haiti.
Yeah.
And she does the...
She does, like, the funeral thing, like the ritual thing of burning the funeral
clothing.
clothes.
Yeah. And, like, Nakia... Yeah, Nakia was...
They have the final tribute thing of showing Chadwick and all that he's done.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Which also, still going back to my first point of, like, if you, like, at the beginning of this, if you did not have context of what happened, like, it'd just be weird having this, like, little montage of T'Challa, and then because he died at the beginning of the movie, but it was off screen, so it must not be a crazy important death. This is without context. This is my interpretation of somebody's viewpoint who does not have the context.
Yeah.
So they would see T'Challa's death is not important, or, like, I would assume if they died off screen, it would seem unimportant.
Yeah, or it would just be a weird thing, and then...
Yeah, but then it was even more weird that they didn't show anything of the mom. But when you have the context, it would be weird to have the mom show up in this little, like... I think what they could have done is show the mom a little bit, then shift the focus over to T'Challa.
They showed her mom when it was like when she was fighting Namor, and then she has the flashes of how similar they were. It was like it showed her mom hugging her, and then Namor's mom hugging him when he was a kid.
But that's not Like, they should have had the, like, when they were showing, like, her thinking back on her loved ones who have passed. They should have shown the Queen first, show a little bit of it, then move over to T'Challa, because this is technically supposed to be
his
a tribute to Chadwick Boseman.
Mm-hmm.
But
or could have tried to do, like, the three of them, like, just, like, have it shift from, like, the mom to, like, all three of them, then to her and T'Challa.
Yeah. But
well, it's also hard because they're just also taking just stuff that had both of them in one scene together from the first movie.
Yeah, which isn't a lot.
Yeah.
But then Nakia shows up with this young boy.
Yeah, this is like the end credit scene. The end of the movie was like that whole tribute of like Chadwick. Yeah, and then it goes to the stylized credits, and then the end credit scene. It's like still that same scene, and Nakia like walks up and is like, "Hey, can we are you ready for us to join you?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine with that." And she comes up with this young boy, which I suspected this for like at the beginning of the movie. I was like, because like when they first showed Nakia, like she was wearing like more flowy dresses, and like I couldn't tell if she was pregnant or not. But then I was like, no, that like it would be like there's no way that she would be pregnant if it's like a year later.
Yeah.
Like with his kid.
Yeah.
Like that wouldn't be possible. And then she was like when she went to Talokan, she was wearing like a tighter, like a form-fitting outfit. So then it was like, okay, she's not pregnant, but she was just wearing outfits that like could hide like a pregnant stomach, but
she was not pregnant whatsoever throughout the movie.
Yeah,
because this kid is at least like 7 or 8. Yeah.
And thinking, like, I thought about it because this is what I thought of before, but I'd imagine Nakia, like, didn't, like, get dusted. So she could have been pregnant, like, before the blip.
Mm-hmm.
And then had her son, and that's why he's older.
Well, yeah, it was, but
it was sweet, but
unnecessary. I think, I'll be honest, the end credits scene. I think the end credits scene could have been cut out. Sure, it was a sentimental moment, but I think they should have cut it out. The end credits scene could have been like when Namora, the cousin, is talking to
she's
Namor.
chewing out, yeah.
She's like, why didn't you just kill him? We can't be working with him. And he's like, we're working with him.
Yeah, just making making the ending a bit longer and then making that conversation the end credit scene.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's basically the movie.
Yeah.
And
like, I'm fine with him having a son, because then it's like, okay, like, it also comes off like, okay, she still does have family.
Yeah.
Like, she's not all alone.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
It's like,
that's fair. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. And it's also the whole thing of like, oh, well, my brother isn't here anymore, when it's like, oh, no, there's a little bit of your brother still here through your nephew.
Mm-hmm.
And he was so cute, too.
He is a cute kid.
Mm-hmm.
It was cute. But,
yeah. I'd imagine they'll, if Marvel's still going at it in the future, probably not with the same actor, but like, they'll probably make him Black Panther in the future.
I doubt it. I
can
I can
see it happening, but I feel like that's too far into the future to be like,
that's like 20 years from now.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, if Marvel hasn't kicked the bucket, I can see them being like, duh, look, we got a new Black Panther.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's like hopefully, like, not wishful thinking, like, the opposite of wishful thinking. I don't know what that is, but just being like, oh, if they're gonna do that, that's gonna be kind of annoying.
But
like, too attached.
So, like, basically what I think the whole point of that scene was like what you said at first, was just to show that there's still family.
Yeah, there's still family, and there's still a piece of him still there, and he's not entirely gone. Like, there's still a legacy.
Yeah, but all in all, it was an alright movie. I think it was. Alright is not the right word. Yeah, it was a good movie. It wasn't the best movie. There's a lot of it was a very long movie. Could have been shrunken down to 2 hours, if that.
Yeah.
Because if you take out the whole
Ross stuff is,
the Ross and Valentina stuff.
Like, it could have been, like, it could be worse, but it wasn't, like, a bad thing.
Within 2 years of writing and reshooting everything, well, not even reshooting,
just
rewriting and shooting everything within 2 years is incredible.
Yeah.
That's like, that doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this movie should have been way worse because of the circumstances.
Yeah.
Like, but the guy who directed it, I can't remember what other... He directed the first Black Panther movie, but I can't remember other stuff that he did. But it was a pretty good
job.
Yeah, very good job.
Yeah. And, like, I think CG-wise, they did, like, it's definitely better than the first one. But there were still, like, some parts where it was, like, questionable. Like, CG. Like, there's one part where Ironheart's in, like, her new suit, and, like, the helmet, like, opens up to show her face.
Yeah.
And, like, she totally was, like, not in the helmet. But then later on, when they show her doing it again, it looked fine. But, like, just one part, I think she was, like, moving her head too much, or it was just, like, a weird angle. So, like, it didn't look lined up right. But
yeah, she looked very stiff, and I wasn't... Just seeing how Iron Man moves and whatnot, he's super, like you can bend your arms and everything, but it just seemed like she could just move her shoulders and her arms are just all straight. She just looked like a mannequin.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is also, like, just the second suit that they've made.
Yeah.
It also kind of reminds me of Baymax. No, like, when he's wearing, like, his super suit. Like, it just hit me, like, whoa, Baymax? But I'm sure that, because she has her own show, next year? I know she has a show coming out. But hopefully they're gonna, well, I guess not hopefully. They're probably gonna, make her, make suit, or, she's gonna have different suits.
Yeah.
For it, so. Ooh. Ooh. But, yeah, so they're gonna have different designs for the suit. So it's not just gonna be the Baymax suit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
should we just end it? Yeah, let's end it. It's late. Okay. Cue outro music. Well, thanks for thanks for listening, everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at AJS_podcast. Also on TikTok under the same handle.
Don't forget to follow my art page at Babby_Yami.
Yep.
On Instagram. And check out our YouTube. We have some videos on there if you're listening to us on a podcast thing.
Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, we also have some visual stuff. Last week we did Pokemon Fusion stuff.
Yeah. And we have a whole bunch of other things too. Like if you've missed our other episodes, go back and listen to those. And support us in any way possible. Tell your friends about us. Tell your mom. Yeah, we want your mom to listen.
Yeah.
And leave a comment. Leave a comment of what you thought about the movie.
Yeah.
And message us on Instagram. We'll totally respond. That didn't sound promising whatsoever. We'll totally respond back to you.
We'll try to.
Yeah. Yes. If I won't, Amy will. If Amy won't, I will.
And if we both don't see it, then
sorry. Yeah. But yeah, stay tuned for our next episode, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Woo!